I am Liana. I am 26 years old. I live in a small rented room in Lahore city. These days I feel lonely and tired inside. My heart feels heavy each quiet morning. Silence follows me everywhere like a shadow. I write this story because silence hurts more than noise now. My sister was named Ariba. She was 3 years younger than me, always smiling. We grew up sharing one narrow bed and many foolish dreams together. Our parents worked all day outside home. Love was simple then and warm. Laughter was cheap and free. I thought nothing could ever break us. Now those days feel very far away. I wake up scared and empty each morning. My hands shake sometimes without reason. I miss the gentle girl she was before. Nights feel longer than before now. The room feels colder and darker. I breathe, but I do not rest anymore inside me. After college, life became very hard for us. Money was always short and stressful. I worked small jobs daily outside. She stayed at home mostly alone silently. Responsibility sat heavy on my shoulders then. I tried to be strong every day. I promised to protect her always somehow no matter. She trusted me with everything inside her heart. Her fears came to me quietly. Her tears came to me at night. I felt needed and important then. That feeling kept me alive somehow. I thought love was enough always. I was wrong, but I did not know then at all. I did not see danger coming at all. It came slowly into our lives like a soft shadow and a sweet voice calling her. I was busy surviving alone then. I ignored small signs everywhere around us. Love can blind tired eyes easily. That mistake cost us everything later. I still regret it deeply. Today I sit alone in deep silence. The house feels empty and hollow now. Her silence screams loud inside me always. I feel scared and broken daily again. I blame myself often now quietly. I replay memories endlessly at night alone. This story is my confession and pain written slowly. I am telling this for her first, for myself too now. Some lives are stolen quietly without screams or warnings. Mine was changed forever that way. This is not anger at all. This is truth only. Listen softly please with heart. My sister's life was taken while breathing beside me. Change came quietly one winter evening. It did not knock loudly at our door. It arrived with warm words and polite smiles. His name was Farhan. He said he was a distant cousin. He spoke softly and looked respectful. I did not feel danger at first. Farhan started visiting our home slowly. He brought sweets and kind greetings. He asked about our parents and struggles. He listened carefully to Ariba's words. His eyes stayed gentle and calm. I felt relief seeing someone care. Loneliness makes trust easy and fast. Ariba began waiting for his visits. She fixed her hair carefully those days. Her smile returned after long sadness. She laughed again like childhood days. I felt happy seeing her alive again. I thought maybe God sent help. I thanked fate quietly in my heart. Farhan spoke of better days ahead. He talked about support and guidance. He praised her patience and strength. He said she deserved more than pain. His voice sounded sure and warm. I stood in the kitchen listening silently. Something felt strange, but I ignored it. Soon his visits became regular and expected. He stayed longer each time. He brought stories and advice. Ariba listened like a child learning hope. Her eyes followed his every word. I noticed her silence growing afterward. Silence can hide fear or dreams sometimes. One evening he spoke to me alone. He said he cared for my sister deeply. He said he wanted to help her future. His words sounded respectful and serious. He spoke about responsibility and honor. I felt confused but thankful. I did not ask enough questions then. After that day things shifted quietly. Ariba stopped sharing everything with me. She kept her phone close always. Her laughter changed tone slightly. She avoided my eyes sometimes. I blamed stress and growing age. I told myself sisters grow apart naturally. I trusted time too much. Farhan started advising her more. He corrected her thoughts gently. He guided her choices softly. He said the world is dangerous for girls. He said obedience keeps women safe. His words sounded protective, not cruel. I still did not see the trap forming. I noticed her clothes changing slowly. Softer colors disappeared from her drawer. Her steps became careful and slow. Her voice lowered when speaking. She asked permission for small things. My heart felt tight seeing this change. Still I stayed silent, afraid to overreact. That was the moment life changed quietly. Not with screams or fights. Just with soft control and hidden fear. Ariba's life started slipping from her hands. I stood nearby, blind and tired. I thought love was guiding her. I did not know it was stealing her. Days passed slowly after Farhan became part of our lives. He helped with small tasks and gave advice. Ariba listened carefully, nodding quietly. I watched from a distance, feeling relief at first. She seemed calmer and safer. I thought maybe things were finally improving. But something inside me whispered worry. We shared meals together quietly sometimes. Farhan insisted on cooking once or twice. Ariba smiled while helping him in the kitchen. I stayed at the table, watching them laugh softly. The sound was familiar but strange too. I wanted to join, but my heart felt uneasy. Still, I stayed silent. Evenings became our small time together. We would sit near the window in dim light. Farhan told soft stories from his childhood. Ariba laughed quietly and listened closely. I sometimes felt included, sometimes left out. My heart twisted seeing her happiness with him. I whispered to myself, it's okay, she needs someone now. Ariba started sharing tiny secrets again. She told me about her small fears. She whispered about dreams for the future. I listened carefully, holding her hand. I felt important and loved again. Yet sometimes her eyes wandered to Farhan while talking. A small unease grew quietly inside me. I could not name it. Farhan often took her on short walks nearby. I would watch from the doorway silently. They returned smiling and chatting softly. She seemed lighter, more confident. I wanted to be happy for her fully. But each time, a cold shadow passed my heart. Something felt missing. I could not reach her completely. Slowly, Ariba began confiding less with me. She shared plans and ideas only with him. I noticed small changes in her tone. Her voice softened too much when replying to me. I felt sadness creep into my bones. I tried to ask gently, "Are you okay?" But she smiled and said, "Everything is fine." She stopped spending long hours with me alone. Our old nights of talking and laughter disappeared. I tried filling the silence with small games and stories. She nodded and smiled politely. Farhan always hovered nearby. I felt like a shadow in my own home. My chest tightened. I stayed quiet. One afternoon, she showed me a notebook. She said it was a secret journal. I smiled and praised her quietly. She hugged me softly for a brief moment. I could feel her warmth, yet something slipped away. I held that moment tightly. Little did I know it was one of the last times she would fully trust me. Ariba's laughter became rarer, softer. Farhan's presence seemed necessary everywhere she went. Even when I sat next to her, she glanced at him for approval. My heart ached quietly. I tried saying nothing, fearing to push her away. But inside, fear grew like a dark cloud. Weeks turned into months quietly. I noticed her small habits disappearing. She no longer painted her nails or wore bright colors. She stopped singing softly in the kitchen. Farhan encouraged quietness and obedience. I could not stop him. I did not know how. My sister's life was slowly slipping away. Even small walks outside now included him. She looked happy with his attention. But she looked tired when alone with me. I wanted to hold her and never let go. I wanted to tell her, "I'm here, always." But words failed me quietly every time. I only watched her fade. Farhan began speaking more about her future safety. He told her the world could be cruel. She listened with wide eyes and nodded. My heart ached. I wanted to scream that danger was outside, not inside our home. But I stayed silent, powerless and scared. The fear for her became mine. Sometimes, she caught me staring at her quietly. She smiled softly, a gentle lie hiding sorrow. I smiled back, though pain twisted my chest. Our small talks were now brief, shallow. I missed the long talks we shared at night. I missed the sister I knew. I missed her fully. I tried small gestures, leaving her favorite flowers on the table. I prepared tea exactly how she liked it. She smiled briefly and whispered thanks. I hoped she would confide again. I hoped she would lean on me. But slowly, she leaned more on Farhan. My hope dwindled quietly, fading day by day. At night, I lay awake hearing their quiet talks in the living room. Their laughter sounded soft but strange. It wasn't ours anymore. I remembered old days when silence felt safe. Now silence screamed louder than ever. I wished I could reach her, save her somehow. But my hands remained empty. Every day, I felt smaller and weaker inside. Ariba's eyes avoided me at times. Her words were careful and calculated. I felt a hollow ache behind my chest. I whispered prayers quietly each night. I hoped I would find a way to protect her. I had no idea how hard the storm was already forming. The first real crack came one rainy evening. I returned from work early, hoping to surprise Ariba. The house was silent, too silent. I called her name softly, but no reply came. Farhan's voice answered instead, calm and polite. He said she was busy and could not be disturbed. I felt a cold knot in my stomach. I tried peeking into her room quietly. The door was slightly ajar. I saw her sitting by the window, writing in her notebook. Farhan stood too close, whispering softly. Her head tilted, listening. My chest tightened. Something was not right, but I could not yet name it. Days after, small lies began to surface. Farhan told her things about me, careless words, small doubts. She started looking at me with uncertainty. I tried explaining, but my words sounded empty. The trust we had began slipping slowly. I felt a painful distance I could not bridge. He controlled her gently, softly, like a shadow. He told her the world outside was dangerous. He said she must listen to him to stay safe. At first, she nodded, unsure but willing. I watched quietly, my heart breaking silently. I wanted to scream, but my voice failed me completely. Ariba stopped spending time with friends. She avoided calls from relatives and old neighbors. Every small activity included him now. Even small choices required his permission. I felt helpless. My attempts to intervene were met with polite refusals or excuses. My sister's life was no longer hers to live. One evening, I tried asking her why she kept secrets. She flinched slightly, avoiding eye contact. I don't want to worry you, she whispered softly. But her eyes said otherwise. Fear and hesitation danced there. I realized slowly that she was trapped, slowly, quietly, and I had failed to protect her. Farhan's influence grew daily. He spoke of honor, respect, obedience. She obeyed everything quietly. I felt the house shrinking, suffocating me slowly. I wanted to break through, pull her back to me. But she turned away from me more each day. My tears fell silently at night. Ariba's eyes stopped shining when she looked at me. Her laughter disappeared almost completely. When we spoke, words were short, careful. Each sentence felt measured. I tried to smile, tried to hug her, but she stiffened gently and withdrew. My heart twisted. My sister, my little sister, was slipping. Then one night, the breaking point came. Farhan asked her to stay out late. I begged her not to go. She looked at me with sorrowful eyes and shook her head. I have to, she whispered. My chest hurt. I knew she was leaving, but I could not stop her. Fear wrapped around me like ice. That night, she did not return until morning. I waited by the door, shivering in the cold. My heart pounded wildly, trembling with fear. When she finally came, her face was pale and quiet. She avoided my eyes completely. I tried holding her hand, but she pulled away gently. Pain burned inside me. Days after, small things changed further. She no longer shared feelings, dreams, or plans. Even small smiles faded. I could only watch, powerless, heartbroken, and trembling. Farhan became the center of her world. I felt my sister's life slipping further with each passing hour. One afternoon, I found a letter tucked in her bag. It was folded neatly, words written softly. It spoke of moving far away, of leaving quietly, and of obedience. My hands shook reading it. Tears blurred the words. My sister's freedom was being taken silently, and I could do nothing. Her room felt empty even when she was inside. Her presence became distant, shadowed, and soft. Even her scent changed. It was no longer mine to remember. I felt powerless, watching helplessly as a life I loved was stolen. Each heartbeat screamed my failure, each breath heavy with sorrow. I cried silently at night, shaking and trembling. My pillow absorbed whispered prayers and desperate pleas. I asked the sky to give me strength, to guide her back, to save her from this slow theft. But the days only grew colder. I realized fear had entered our home and stayed. My reflection in the mirror looked tired and hollow. I had aged months and weeks. The home we shared no longer felt like ours. The laughter we once had was stolen slowly, piece by piece. I grieved quietly, feeling the weight of betrayal and danger pressing down. I had failed her, and it hurt more than words. The day I finally saw the truth, my heart broke completely. I returned home from work to find the house quiet, too quiet. Her room was empty. Notes and bags lay scattered. My chest tightened. Farhan was there, calm and smiling, but my eyes searched desperately for Ariba. I ran to her phone, hoping for a message. None came. I called her friends, neighbors, relatives. No one had seen her. Panic wrapped around me like a thick, suffocating blanket. My hands shook violently. I could barely breathe. My sister's life had vanished from my grasp. I remembered the small warnings, the soft signs I had ignored. Her distance, the whispered secrets, his controlling words. Each memory hit me with sharp force. Tears streamed down my face. I fell to the floor, shaking, whispering her name. Ariba, please come back, please. My voice cracked and disappeared. The next hours blurred. I called her repeatedly, hoping for a familiar laugh, a soft voice. But silence answered. Every ring without reply was a dagger in my chest. I could not eat, could not sleep. My body trembled from exhaustion and fear. The house seemed cold, empty, and cruel. I found her notebook later, hidden beneath her bed. Pages were filled with careful words, obedience, and subtle fear. I read them trembling, my tears staining the paper. She had been trapped in his world for months. Every page was a silent scream I had failed to hear. I remembered the warmth of her hand once, the soft smile, the laughter we shared. That warmth was gone. The laughter stolen. My sister was no longer the girl I knew. The truth crashed into me like icy rain. Life had taken her from me quietly, invisibly, leaving me broken. I cried for hours, shaking uncontrollably, whispering apologies. I asked myself where I had failed, what signs I missed, what I could have done differently. Every moment of happiness with her now felt like a memory stolen too soon. My heart ached in ways words cannot explain. Days passed, but the fear did not leave me. I wandered the house slowly, searching for her, hoping for a sign. Shadows of her laughter haunted every corner. I clutched her pillow at night, crying silently into it. The emptiness she left was unbearable, yet her presence lingered like a cruel whisper. I called authorities, friends, everyone I could. Each no news cut deeper. Sleep became impossible. My body weakened from worry and grief. Every heartbeat reminded me of the life that was stolen. Every breath was heavy with sorrow. I could not escape the fear, nor the heartbreak. One quiet night, I sat alone, clutching her notebook, and whispered to the darkness, "I will not give up. I will find you, Ariba." I will bring you home, somehow. The tears fell slowly, painfully, but determination sparked in the midst of sorrow. Hope, fragile and trembling, began to grow in my heart. Time passed slowly after that night. I could not bring her back yet, but I learned to hold on to hope. Every morning, I breathed deeply and whispered her name softly. I told myself I must stay strong, for her and for me. Pain had not left, but courage grew quietly. I began small routines to heal. I cooked meals she loved, hoping one day she would return. I walked in the park where we used to laugh. The cold wind touched my cheeks, reminding me of our shared days. Memories were bittersweet, sharp yet comforting. I learned to let them stay without breaking me. I wrote every thought in a new notebook. I spoke to the sky about my grief, about my love, about my regrets. Slowly, writing became medicine for my wounded heart. I realized that while her life was stolen, my memories of her remained safe. They were mine to treasure forever, no one could take them away. Sometimes I imagined her smile, soft and gentle. I imagined her voice, whispering secrets only I would know. Those imaginings brought tears, yes, but also warmth. I understood love can survive even through silence and distance. Holding on to hope is hard, but it keeps hearts alive. I learned a painful lesson about trust and vigilance. Love alone is not always protection. I learned to watch, to question, to act gently but firmly. I understood how silence can hide danger. My sorrow taught me awareness, patience, and quiet strength. Pain had a purpose, even if harsh and unfair. Though my sister's life was stolen, I promised to live fully for her too. I kept her favorite scarf in my drawer, her favorite mug on the table. Every small object reminded me of her. Every memory was a spark of courage. I learned that even in loss, hope can bloom quietly like morning light. I will continue waiting for her return, softly but firmly. I will protect her memory, my love for her, and our shared days. Life may steal some parts, but it cannot touch the heart that remembers. I understood now that even in brokenness, there is strength. Healing comes slowly, but it does come. The quiet nights are no longer empty. I feel her presence in soft winds, in gentle sunlight. I whisper to myself, she will return, or I will carry her with me in heart forever. Life goes on, slowly, with pain and hope intertwined. I am broken, yes, but also alive, stronger, and ready to face tomorrow.